What's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Heroes Charge. So, today we're actually going to go over some things that are a little bit different. We're going to talk about the hot cell hero first and foremost, but I'm also going to talk about some ideas for those who are having problems with leveling a lot of heroes at a time, because that's honestly a problem that I hit. Being that I'm a collector, sometimes I have a lot of the heroes, but specific ones I don't, push hard enough, so I can't do well in something, one thing or another. So we'll kind of go over some new strats you can do if you're struggling like I've been. So first and foremost, I went ahead and actually did this off screen. So the new monthly hero from the Magic Stone chest, if you see on the right side here, I actually already have it, so I'm just going to pull it up real quick. I actually got this on the fifth try this time. Of course, I don't necessarily need to show you everybody just because you see me do this over and over and over. So I figure you don't want to necessarily watch me just click it over and over and counting all the time. You know that I know how to count. I've obviously proven that. So the name of the new hero is Blade. Let's go ahead and check him out. So with Blade, I actually kind of like Blade. So and without even reading the abilities right off the bat, I already know because I read them off screen that he has potential in raid. I think as far as arena is a possibility, but I think that, and I'm going to actually push him probably pretty soon for raid. I'll explain why. So let's check this out. So, well, first off, let's look at his stats before we look at his abilities. Basically, the introduction states that he's a frontline agile hero who can damage enemies with his blades. So, basically, he's going to be kind of like your frontline beater. What makes him a little bit better than what's described is a few things here. So, his active skill, basically, he spins his blade cloak, damaging enemies ahead, and throws them into the air. So basically, this is going to be a heavy damage dealing ability. Then he has Blade Strike, which he strikes enemies in a sector area and reduces their armor. So being able to reduce their armor means you're going to be able to deal more damage. And this is part of why I'm saying that he's going to be good in raid, because his active skill, the first skill I read, is going to do a lot of damage, and that second skill right there, that's high green, is actually going to be lowering their armor, so that it will help you and the rest of your team to do more damage. So this will probably be effective like against bosses too. So that might be a really important thing to note here. So we also have him summoning multiple blades around him, dealing damage to enemies nearby. So more or less, he's going to be in the front, so he's going to be in their face. And with him being in their face, you're more or less going to see that he's going to be dealing damage naturally without having to do much. So that's kind of cool. If someone can just naturally deal damage, that's awesome. And then the last ability is that on purple, he activates his defense mode, reducing incoming damage and restoring HP. So not only can he deal damage, not only does he reduce armor, but he can also sustain himself at the same time. He has a little bit of a tankish ability, which I really, really like. So that's really cool if you ask me. So I'm gonna say right now, without pushing him, Blade's gonna be good in raid. I'm gonna be pushing him myself. I'm gonna be testing this, and we'll see what happens. In the near future. It's gonna be a while before I can get him up because I'm working on some other projects right now, and I'll kind of go over that real quick. So I was talking earlier about some new strats as far as leveling heroes. Like if you're like me, you like to collect heroes, you like to make everybody legendary. Sometimes you kind of lose focus on who to build up. And some people are really, really good at arena. I'm like average. I'm usually sometimes I can sneak at 100, but usually I'm ranked around the 200, 300, sometimes 4. So I'm not really one of the top players as far as arena is concerned. However, I've learned that the arena meta changes so often that sometimes it's just hard to keep up. Which is why I'm thinking about. Well, actually, I already made the decision that I'm going to be focusing more on raid. So, as far as arena is concerned, I'll do the best I can with what I have. But, I think I'm just going to be sticking to arena. I mean, sticking to, guild raid. So, with that being stated, I've actually leveled up certain people to 106 already who typically can do a lot of damage or really good support in terms of raid is concerned. That's why Barrow Warrior, Vengeance Spirit, Time Traveler, all of those are currently level 106. Which, yes, by the way, I'm finally level 106. I'm always like the last one to level, so it's kind of a thing. But But yes, I actually do have certain heroes up here that are 106, and they're basically the raid heroes. Anyone that I'm using for arena is going to stay at 105 until all my raid people are up to 106. And I have quite a list of heroes that I'm going to be pushing. First and foremost, I'm actually working on Vengeance Spirit. I already have her where I want her to be, except I didn't notice until like just a few days ago that Vengeance Spirit now has a legendary skill. I'm going to go over this real quick because I'm really excited about this. Now, everyone has seen my videos. You know that I love legendary. I'm a collector of, learning every legendary skill, things like that. But rarely am I really super duper excited about a legendary skill. Like, I was excited. I think the last time I was excited was like when Dwarf Warrior had his skill. I was really, really hype about that. Really hype about that. So this is the newest one that I'm hype about right now, which is going to be Vengeance Spirit. I really like her legendary skill, and I'm working on getting that out right now. So basically, she increases her own armor penetration and attack speed whenever she casts a skill. So whenever she does one of her regular skills, she's actually increasing her armor penetration and attack speed, which means she's going to be lowering their defense and doing more attacks, which translates into more damage. So now I've been using her for raid, for a long time, but now I have more reason to be using her in raid. So she's going to really push the envelope in terms of raid is concerned. So right now, this is my project. I'm working on getting Vengeance Spirit as far as to legendary. On top of that, I'm also working on pushing another hero here. Uh, Not sure if, yeah, I did. I leveled her to 105 right now, and she's only red +1 at the moment. But I'm working on Ghost Musician. The only reason I'm working on her, I haven't actually tested her myself, but I've seen a lot of lists as far as like top ranked, damage dealing on some levels. I've seen Ghost Musician up there a lot, so I'm gonna push her and I'm gonna test her myself. Now, the heroes that I'm currently using in general for raid, I'll kind of go over who they are and why. So, Bear Warrior, which I may be switching out Bear Warrior depending on, which level I'm doing. For boss levels, he kind of sucks, but if you're just playing like, just a regular level with just regular, creatures or whatever, he's really good at just dealing lots and lots of damage to groups. As a matter of fact, Bear Warrior, and then if you use Sorceress to kind of push everybody back, which means they'll all be kind of clumped together, when he does his ultimate skill, he's doing like a lot more damage to a lot more people. So the more you can squish people together, the better Bear Warrior's ability is going to be. Now, I've noticed a bit of a contradiction between Bear Warrior and Evil Rabbit. Evil Rabbit, honestly, on paper, sounds like a good idea for Bear Warrior 2 because he kind of warps people closer to him, which thus warps them closer to Bear Warrior. But what I've noticed is that sometimes Bear Warrior will get ahead of that hero, so when he casts his ultimate skill, he's either hitting only one person on one side or hitting everybody else, which thus Bear Warrior deals less damage. So I've learned that if I'm going to use Evil Rabbit, I shouldn't be using Bear Warrior. So there are a few tweaks I need to make. Sometimes I just have to decide which one's going to be better overall. Because honestly, Evil Rabbit has been doing really well for me in raid, and I honestly didn't even think about him being good. But yeah, he's actually a lot. I mean, first and foremost, Evil Rabbit does a lot of good damage. And secondly, the fact that he can put people together means that everybody else can deal more damage to whoever that is as well. So not only is Evil Rabbit really good in Arena, but Evil Rabbit is also good in Raid. And honestly, if you wanted kind of my advice on which heroes to get, first and foremost, pick, do you want to focus on Arena or do you want to focus on Raid? And then pick heroes that are good at both. Evil Rabbit is one of those heroes that's good at both. Same with Sorceress. She's really good at Arena and she's really good at Guild Raid. She can do lots of damage as well. There are certain scenarios where she's not so good, especially against those that are immune against magic. But, Evil Rabbit and Sorceress, they pair up pretty well. Vengeance Spirit, she's just fantastic. I mean, she has control skills, so she keeps them from moving, which then, lets everybody else, continue to take advantage. She can do a lot of damage herself. And one that I've been working on personally that I didn't even really know would be a raid hero, but I tested him out. And Time Traveler, believe it or not, is actually decent in raid too. Especially when it comes to when it comes on just a one single boss. I've noticed that Time Traveler is usually one of the top damage dealers when it's just one boss. And I didn't even see Time Traveler on lists. I just happened to try him out because I actually like Time Traveler in general. And turns out, boom, he's actually pretty good too. So I would recommend Time Traveler. He does have control skills, which helps, and he does lots of damage, which is always a good combination. Werewolf is someone I'm trying. I just pushed him to Red Plus 2 Widow 6 just about a week ago, maybe. So I'm testing him out, and he seems to be doing good, but it depends on the level I'm learning. But I need to test him in Arena because I haven't done that yet. I hear he's really good in Arena too. So he might be one of those heroes that I would recommend for both Raid and Arena because I see Werewolf doing wonderful things. So that's why I have him there. And then everybody else right now is 105 or less because I've only been doing one person at 106 per day just to get my daily rewards and whatnot. And I'm trying not to spend all my resources so fast. But other heroes that I'm currently working on, I'll kind of go down the list real quick of my heroes. Chemist, I'm going to probably push only because he's good when there's just a boss fight. I mean, he can do lots of damage to that one person. Also, I would say that Puppet Master is actually really good. Puppet Master works really well if you're running, Sorceress, if you're running a Bear Warrior. If everybody's like trapped like in a corner together, and Puppet Master does his like active skill, boom, he's hitting all of them for lots of damage. So you definitely want that. I've always been a fan of Ice Mage on DPS, but I'm learning that there might be others that are just better. So I haven't been using Ice Mage much lately. I used to use Tusk Storm a lot, but now that Divine Knight is a thing, I kind of have to go back and forth between the two because Divine Knight really helps in increasing everybody's damage overall. But I mean, Tusk Storm is not bad either. So it's kind of a toss up on which one I would really say it would be kind of recommended. Divine Knight prevents healing, so that could be a thing. Whereas Tusk Storm just kind of boosts and deals damage. So that's kind of an arguable point. Of course, Ghost Musician. I don't have much to say about her yet because I'm just working on her because I've seen other lists. But I can't really talk about her because I've never really tested her out. And then I will eventually get Wind Priest up there because I know that Wind Priest also is a good backline hero that deals lots of damage. I'm not sure if it's better than Sorceress or other backline heroes, but everything is worth testing right now. And then I know that everybody else that I'm going to put up there is probably people that I haven't even touched yet. Probably like, I think it's a Steel Champion or something like that. I'll have to find him, but I'm pretty sure that he's going to be pretty good too. I just haven't done much as far as leveling him, or maybe I'm not sure which one it was. It's one of those like three awesome like Dragon Lord, Steel Champion, or and Hercules. But I think it's not Hercules. It's either Dragon Lord or Steel Champion. One of those two I see it on lists of top damage dealers, so I might test him out. Tarot Prophet, I'm gonna be pushing him soon. I just haven't been working on it. I know everybody kept telling me Tarot Prophet push him, and I will. It's just I'm just finishing somebody else real quick, and then I'm going to be getting on Tarot Prophet because I know that he's good in both Arena and in Raid. And anytime you can find a hero that can do both, you know that that's a star hero. And what's sad about Tarot Prophet, it's not nothing sad about him, but it was actually sad on my part. I actually underestimated him. I didn't think Tarot Prophet was going to be any good when they first dropped. I was so wrong. So wrong. Also, I actually passed her up, but there's another backline hero that's really good. Oh, I think it's Steel Champion. Steel Champion or Avenger. One of those two is the ones that is really good in Raid that I've seen on a lot of lists. But anyway, and then of course Blade was the one I mentioned earlier. But there's one backline hero, some kind of a princess, like some kind of like goblin prince. Oh, there it is, Troll Princess. I knew this from the get go because I actually stated this when she first dropped that she was going to be really, really good in terms of raid. And yeah, I've seen her on people's top list doing lots of damage. And I knew it was going to happen. I just never really focused on her because I'm always distracted with so many other things. But I will be working on her eventually too. But I'm working on heroes one at a time as far as leveling them to 106 and getting them to Red Plus 2. And then I move on to the next one. And of course, at the same time, I'm also pushing certain people to Legendary because I'm a Legendary collector. So, that's the thing. So, yes, right now, my focus is going to be on Guild Raid going forward. It doesn't mean that I won't be participating in Arena because, of course, I do an Arena. I'm doing, like, Guild Tournament, things like that. But, as far as, like, hero focus, I'm going to be focusing more on Raid just because it's not something that changes too often, so I can find like a solid 10 heroes, once I test everybody out that I want to constantly use to try to break records, and then kind of go from there. And then just supporting the guild in general, because guild raid is like one of the easiest ways to get an item without having to constantly like scrape and scrape and scrape for fragments to get. If your guild is like good enough in terms of guild raid, everybody can get items pretty well. The right now we're kind of struggling. We barely just got to chapter 20, so we're doing that at the moment. It took us forever to finish chapter 19. I want to say it took us months, but we're working on it. Like me and the new guild leader, we're both going to be focusing on guild raid, which is going to be great for everybody. For those who do want to participate and do that thing on guild raid too, one thing that I have to stress that people should start doing, and this applies to me too, and everyone should really work on getting their stamina to max every day, because getting your stamina to max is what's going to help you constantly reset some of those higher chapters so that everybody can collect items quicker. Because if not enough people are really putting in enough stamina, then it's going to take you forever to really do much in terms of resetting. Our guild has usually been pretty good about being able to, have three or four, stages going on at once, as far as chapters. So that's pretty cool. But I just think that anyone that's going to be focusing on raid, including myself, should try their best to push in terms of stamina to max every day, just to make it doable. And then, of course, do their part to do, each of the chapters, at least the higher ones, every day, to try to help everybody getting those new items that they may need. So, and this isn't just for the guild that I'm in, but this is also a good, healthy tip for anyone in any guild. Oh, side note, for those who are expecting a Final Fantasy video today, I'm sorry. I do play other games, and honestly, this game came way before Final Fantasy as far as mobile is concerned. So I gotta give a shout out to this game. I mean, this game is a game that I've been playing for years. I still enjoy it to this day. I've had my moments where I've, kind of like had a little low interest, but it kind of goes up and down. But thankfully, this game is pretty good when it comes to keeping me going and keeping me playing. I'll keep up the best that I can. Now that I have a focus, I think I'm going to be having a little more motivation, and I'm really glad that that's coming to fruition right now. So that's kind of like my public service announcement to you guys. Just stick with what you want to focus on, how do you want to produce, and then do it. Especially if you don't want to try to collect every hero, just you can focus on one hero at a time, and then you'll be good to go. If you want to focus on arena, then which heroes are at the top, and just push them as much as you can, and use those heroes to do your thing. And I'm not just talking about arena. If you're gonna focus on arena, you should also focus on grand arena, because grand arena is honestly the easiest way to get like materials to where you can buy whatever you need. Like if I go to Guild Raid or Grand Arena right now, I mean I've got about 36k just chilling that I haven't even touched yet. So you have that. When I go to redeem, I still got a little over 30,000 that I could use that's already available. I've already got most of these heroes. I think Void Master is the only one I don't have out of these, which I need to start collecting. But this is the easiest way to set up to get not only new heroes, but maybe an item you might need. You might need an antique halberd or something like that. Clearly, I do because mine's at 0. I'm not going to pick it because I don't really need it right now. But if I felt the need to, I could do that. And if you get higher, Grand Arena rankings, then you're always going to be saving up more gold, every hour. So that's a pretty cool thing. And then with helping yourself in Grand Arena, that's also going to help you in the championship. And then, of course, not only does it help you in championship, but also, it'll help you in War of the Gods because you have more heroes you can use at, their max as far as like stars and whatnot. And then, of course, guild tournament if you're trying to, make a lot of good teams to, try to win. I mean, we've gotten to the point here and there where we're like the last team, and then all of a sudden we lose right before we can get the top 8. I like the best that we did was about, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. We got all the way to the last round of the preliminaries, and we lost to Intensity, I believe it was, which was a loss that honestly I expected because they've always been a top guild for a while, so we don't really ever expect to beat them. But it was nice to get there, and then lose to them, and then they make it to the top 8 or whatever it is. So, or top 16, I forgot, whatever the brackets are. So, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I just, for everyone to know, focus on something. Pick what you want to be good at. Do you want to be the arena guy, or do you want to be the raid guy? And if you're going to be the raid guy, focus on those heroes, participate not only in just raid in general, but participate in getting that stamina to the full, because the more stamina you produce, the more chances you're going to have of being able to have more multiple chapters reset, or the chapter you want reset. You know what I mean? You got to put in that effort. And that goes for me too, because I'm not going to say that I always do, my 1500 or whatever. Sometimes I only do like 12 or 13. But, I think it's doable. I mean, if you have enough gems, you can do that. Especially for those of you who pay for to have VIP and whatnot, or like your daily, or like your monthly or yearly, gems that you get. That'll basically supplement the fact that you may have to constantly use gems to get to max. It works out. And plus, there are certain events where if you do certain things, you can gain more gems, or you can gain more stamina, which will help you, get your daily. So, that's something to really consider. For those in arena, I mean, I still recommend pushing stamina just to be helpful for the guild in general, because honestly, that usually determines whether you go or you stay. Because a lot of times, if you don't play, you don't stay. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. But for arena, I mean, honestly, you want to represent your guild. So if you're focusing on that, try to make sure that you can get top rank, so that they see that, hey, this person in this guild's up there. Like, that's pretty cool. Makes them want to join your guild. Which thus just helps everybody else. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing. But yeah, I mean, honestly, those are really the main points I wanted to bring up. You've seen the new hot cell hero. You've got a few recommendations in terms of raid. If there are any heroes that I didn't mention for guild raid that you think would also be good that I didn't talk about, feel free to put it in the comments. I mean, these videos are really to help everybody in general. So if you want to contribute to helping everyone, I mean, comments would definitely be appreciated. I'm not the master of this game. I just play this game for fun, and there are things that I overlook. So, this is dependent not just on me, but on you guys as well. So, feel free to comment and help out your General Heroes Charge community, so you can make yourself and your guild much better. As far as the Heroes Charge videos, you're only going to be seeing these probably once a month when the new monthly Hot Cell Hero comes out. Every other week, I'm usually doing like either Final Fantasy or something else. Lately, it's been more Final Fantasy, because that's kind of the new thing for me, which I'm really excited to do now. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this was helpful to you guys. And you take it easy. Game on.